Hey everybody, this is Derek Dallas. I am your instructor for CIS152 Web Design 1, and today I want to talk with you about the course and the basics of the course, the overview of it, and give you a pretty good idea of what you're going to be doing this semester while you're in this class. So first of all, the thing you're going to be working with is Cobra. Cobra is Parkland's content management system. It looks something like this. If you're on myparkland.edu, you're going to see a link up to Cobra. When you go to this, you click on this, and it's going to show you the classes that you are currently enrolled in, and it'll show you the classes that you've taken in the past. So for instance, if I was a student, I can see my classes for fall, and I want to click on the link that is associated with the class that I'm interested in. So that's my 152 class, and in this has some information. From here you can actually go to your in this little icon is for your email. It'll go to your email, and this is where you can create and receive emails. I'm going to right click in this space and go back. It'll take me back to this page. If I go to the content section, it has a little bit of information here where I give you links to our class website where you'll go to, we'll be doing that today, looking at the syllabus, looking at the overview of the class, and then the schedule is there, which breaks down the entire semester into week by week assignments and projects and quizzes that you'll be taking throughout the semester. And so you'll want to go here first and make sure that you can see the course website. So if I click on this, it's going to go here to the CIS152 Web Design index page, or the home page. The home page is here to give you information about how to get in touch with me, and a simple overview of the class and the information, the very basic information. Of course, if this class is something you're starting with and you don't have any web experience or anything like that, you certainly want to take a class that is designed to introduce you to these things a little more simply, and that's a CIS 151 class. So you can consider taking that sort of class ahead of this one. This is the link to my email, and so you can reach me through this link, or you can email me through Cobra, and I have some information about that in a separate video. My office is in B136 in the B wing of the campus, and I have a link to my office hours, which is also a link to my homepage of my own homepage, where you can see my hours for this semester are going to be Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and also 11 to 12 that same day, and Tuesdays and Thursdays 8 to 9. Those are the best hours that I have for meeting with people. Otherwise, I'm in the classroom, or I am on my way to the classroom, or having lunch or something. Anyway, I do have my other email address here, and I do have a Gmail account so that I can actually communicate through video. I like to use Google Plus and their Hangouts and create videos that are not videos, but video chats basically with you if you have questions about things and want to talk with me face to face, but you don't want to have to come to campus, which works quite well. This is a link to all of my classes that I teach. I teach in digital media, and I teach 3D computer animation, digital media foundations, advanced animation classes, portfolio. Anyway, there's just a lot of stuff there. Got a link to the digital media gallery, and I've got some blogs that correspond with my classes, and some other stuff here, links to things that interest me and might be helpful to you. So I'm going to go back to our web page here. So this is the home page. Now I'm going to be going over the syllabus, and the syllabus is here to cover in detail kind of what this class is about, the structure, my expectations of it for you, and that sort of thing. So I'm going to go through that now. Obviously you're going to need to read this on your own, and I do have a quiz over this that you will need to take once it is done. I don't expect you to know all the answers by watching this video. I expect you to read the quiz or read the syllabus before taking the quiz to get the information. If you've read the syllabus or you have the syllabus with you while you take the quiz, you'll find all the answers. All right. This class moves pretty quickly, and it moves even more quickly in the summertime. So one thing I always want to make sure is that being online, you don't procrastinate. It's something that you got to keep up with and work on it. Doing it last minute, like many things, can end in disaster for you. I do have the projects all scheduled with deadlines that have to be met, and the ability to submit the project after that deadline will result in a incomplete or a 0 for that. So if you have an issue, we'll have to make sure we talk about what might be happening before the deadline. All right, so this class is about making the basic skills for creating business-oriented websites, a review of HTML, XHTML, and CSS coding. We're going to be using Dreamweaver, and we also can use Aptana, which is a free HTML editing software that you can use. So if you don't have Dreamweaver, you don't have to worry, but you will have to utilize another software package called Aptana Studio 3, which is I have some videos about that as well. All right. I've given you my office hours. Again, my phone number is available right here. And this is an online class, so you don't have to come to campus at all for anything. If you want to come to campus, you certainly can. You can come and use our D208 laboratory. You will need to have access to that lab. So if you want to come to that, you will need an access code to get in. And you will need to be aware of the lab times and those kind of things, and where it is. So if that is something that you want to do, it is available for you. But most likely you took an online class, so you didn't have to come to campus at all, which is one of the really nice benefits of online learning. This class has no official textbook. I do recommend one. There is one that you can get. And it's called Building Your Own Website the Right Way Using HTML and CSS. This book is available at the Parkland Library or Parkland Bookstore. You can certainly get it on your own. I recommend the books as a resource for you. You don't have to have it. I'm not going to be assigning anything out of it. I'm not going to assign a reading out of it or anything like that. But it certainly is helpful. And any book on HTML, HTML5, CSS3 would be actually advantageous to you if you are serious about a career in web design. So this one in particular might not be what you want, but I would definitely pick one up and become very familiar with the format and the methods of the process of writing digital HTML. All right. The other books I'd recommend are books on Dreamweaver. About using the most recent version of Dreamweaver, whatever it happens to be. I know it changes all the time. That would be very helpful to you. You don't have to have it, but anything that you can do to make you familiar with the software, and you don't even have to use Dreamweaver, so it's up to you what kind of book you purchase. So really it's about whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you want to use, it's fine. You may not need a book, you may not, but I personally like to have resources, so it's up to you though. The software required is going to be, you got to have access to browsers, Firefox, Chrome. I use Chrome all the time. Internet Explorer to test out your web pages on these different browsers. Believe it or not, different browsers render the way that your page looks differently. The way it looks in Firefox is going to be a little bit different than Chrome. Internet Explorer may make it look completely different, and you've got to have to deal with those things. And if you use Mac, you can use Safari or other tools. So you definitely want to have multiple browsers available on your desktop so that you can test things out. You will want to use a text editor. You will be starting out with Notepad. I use Crimson Editor. I like that editor. You can use WordPad. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter to me what you use. Just something you're comfortable with. It could be something you pay for, something that you get for free. But the idea is you're going to start out writing code by hand and doing it all with a text editor. And you're going to need some type of SFTP application. You're going to want to transfer files to the Parkland server. You're going to get your own server space as a student, and on that space you will have your web pages posted, and you're going to send me a link to that. So it'll be a www.csit.parkland on your name and the name of the web page that you create. And that is important because you got to be able to understand the structure of file systems and the hierarchy of your pages and folders and that sort of thing. So you will be using that in order to upload your work, if you're at home, to the Parkland server that's located here on campus someplace. You've got to use these applications. I use FileZilla. I like that. I also use WinSCP. And it works just fine. If you're a Mac user, you can use CyberDuck or Fetch, and that's something that I don't use my Mac, and so using that certainly something you'll probably be very familiar with, or there's lots of resources to work that out. It's not complex or complicated. You just need a few bits of information, which I provide to you in the course material. Alright, if you are going to use Dreamweaver and you are going to try to get by with it with just the student version or the 30-day trial, wait till the end of the semester to buy it. Don't buy it right now, because the first half of the semester you don't need it, and the second half of the semester you'll want it. But I would highly recommend using the Aptana Studio 3, and I talk about that in a separate thing. Highly recommend doing that. It'll save you money. It's a really nice product and it's totally free. And I think once you get used to and comfortable using it, you'll enjoy it and find it very beneficial. Okay? Now, one of the things I want to make sure you are aware of, that you really need to have an understanding of your computer and the hierarchy of how things are structured. I have a long list of things that you should be able to do in a Windows environment. You need to understand file management skills. You need to also know how to use a USB and do some very basic things. If you read through this list and you realize that you're deficient in some of these areas, obviously if it's not too many, you could get caught up rather quickly. But if you realize that these are things you just don't understand, you're probably going to have a problem keeping up. And so I would highly recommend then you dropping this class and taking a CIS151 class. Or there are CTC courses that you can check out and go at a different pace, just kind of on your own. So those are things you got to really consider before you dive into this class. All right, I want you to communicate to me through the Cobra system, and you're going to need to make sure you have that activated. It will give you an email address. It will give you obviously access to the Cobra, and in that you're going to be reviewing, and you'll see your grades. You'll know what you've earned on all your projects. You'll know what you've earned on the actual final midterm and the final exam and all of that and all the quizzes. You should be able to see exactly as you go along the class where you stand, everything that you've gotten, everything that you've completed, the comments that I've made on everything, and your current standing in the class. So there shouldn't be any questions about it. You will be submitting your projects through what's called a Dropbox on Cobra, and I'll explain that in a separate video, but you will need to make sure you understand Cobra and how the basic things work. I do have deadlines, and the deadlines are to keep the class moving and to keep things on schedule. That way I don't have some people way up here. Being an online class, you certainly can work ahead. However, I don't want a semester where there's people just all over the place necessarily. It's easier for me to kind of make sure we're all moving together. And that helps me keep organized and not let people get lost. I don't know what you're doing and where you are in the class. You will want to be aware of the deadlines for those things. If for some reason you cannot get a project finished, you have to turn something in. Even if it's partially done, even if it's not the way you'd like it to be, if it's not quite as good, or if there's something missing, turn something in. That way I can see that you're working on it, and then you can resubmit it later and get maybe over the weekend you can get caught up or something like that. But you must turn something in, and you will get credit for that. If you turn nothing in at all, then you get 0, and I will only increase your grade a little bit above 0. So it would be better to get something, a D or something like that for partial work, and then go up from there so you can get into the C/B range, than to start with 0 and only get not even 50%, like an F. And so make sure you communicate with me. I really like to communicate with my students and understand, and that helps things out. If there's a problem and you can't do something, or you need help and assistance in some way with the schedule, then I can be there and we can talk about it. So that's very important. This class does require a lot of study. Just like anything, it takes time to learn these skills, to understand what's happening, and to think about the structure and the effects of changing attributes and the effect it has on the way the page is displayed. All of those things take a lot of time. And so working on these things and spending multiple hours a week on the projects is normal. And it will get, it's something that you get better at as you go along. However, it does take time. This is art. There's art and science and computer science involved. We have to make pages that are appealing, that look good, that are structured properly, and they look organized. But we also have to write good programming code and have proper syntax, and have proper spacing, and have comments, and have a very clear understanding. So we're doing art and computer science at the same time, and it has to balance out. And in the end, what do we see? We see the page. However, I am grading you on the page design, the way it looks, the way it feels, the way it flows, and the code. How does that look? How does that feel? What are the errors there? So you are having to do both of those things, and that's very important for you to understand. So make sure you are aware of that amount of study time and the time it takes to put something of quality together. Again, equipment failures, if your computer burns up, if something happens to your file, there's not anything I can really do about that. If you lose everything, I mean, you have to turn something in, and that kind of thing is, it happens sometimes, but you have to turn something in at the time of the projects. I'm not responsible for your computers or your whatever might happen. That is up to you. I can do all I can to be reasonable, but there's a point where, deadline's the deadline. I would recommend backing things up so that you have a copy of everything you're doing on a different device. You have it stored on on your desktop, on your computer. You have it stored on a portable device. You have it uploaded to the Parkland server. That way you have redundant versions of everything. It's a little, keeping track of that, but you've got to have, that's a very normal, and it's normal to have lots of backups in digital media. You've got to have your files backed up. Again, if something happens, and you get ill, or there's a family crisis, if there's something that happens in life, just talk with me about it. Don't just disappear. Don't just drop out and then show up 2 weeks later and say, a month ago I got really sick. I mean, okay, maybe have someone let me know. If you're really sick and you're in the hospital, let me know. Have your wife, your parent, your grandparents, your best friend, someone just let me know what's happening, so that I can know that you are concerned about your education, and that you take it seriously. You're not just disappearing out of irresponsibility or whatever, and just communicate with me. That's all I ask, and that will go a long way for I can work out something with you. We can work together on getting your education. It's been, and we can talk about those things. When you turn in your projects, I will give you feedback in the comments area of the Dropbox. The Dropbox is the area where you'll upload all your files and give me the link to your web page, and then I will look at all of that information, and then I'll make comments on it. I'll talk about the code. Did it validate? What you could do better? All the stuff that you'll learn as we go along. I do have a midterm project that you will be working on, and I have a big final exam that is built off of the midterm. So the midterm and the final exam work together hand in hand, and so this will test you by putting all of your skills to play. How do you think and solve problems to create a website based on the criteria of a client and those kind of things. So I'm looking for how you put it all together. It's not just, is it good code? It's not just, is it a pretty page? It's both. And there's even more to that, because you have to take into consideration what the client wants. What are his his desires? What are his ideas? And that's the energy that a client wants for their website. What does it reflect? How does it convey a personality or an inviting feeling? What is it that kind of standard among the genres of a certain type? What do all hardware store websites, what do coffee shop websites all have in common? What does a department store website or a fashion design have in common? And you have to do your own research on that and start looking at some of the things that might be good and to bring those ideas to the table. So it's really about you being participatory with the client in not just doing the raw basics, but being a creative mind working with the person. So anyway, that's a ways off, but those kind of things are really, really important. I have quizzes after every project that you do, so there's about 10 quizzes that cover the content you just learned. You do not have to come to campus to take it. They're all available through Cobra and online. They are all based on the notes that you have read and the links and everything that I provided for you. There are deadlines from when it begins and when it ends. It starts at a certain time and it ends at a certain time. If you don't do it during that time, and you'll get a 0 for that. So unless you talk with me about an issue, then there's nothing there, and I will assume you chose not to take it. It was your choice to not take that, and you will get a 0. Again, I have a web page for all this information. These are the links to it and link to Cobra. So you can look at those things here. Some additional information. If you decide that this class is not for you, you get into it and you're like, this is too much work, or this really doesn't appeal to me, or I just can't do it. I want to do it, but I can't due to life and my work or whatever. Then make sure you remove yourself from the roster by withdrawing. It's something that you need to do. You need to do it. I can do it within the beginning of the few weeks of course. If you're not coming to class, I will remove you. If you just disappear, I will remove you. But there's a point where you're responsible for that, and you have to take ownership of your education and the course. And if you just disappear at some point and don't finish the class, but you're still on my roster, guess what? I'm still grading all of the assignments. You get 0s. I'm still grading midterms. I'm still grading the final, and your grade will be posted, whatever it ends up being. One of the things that's really important in a class like this, especially an online class, is academic honesty. Believe it or not, people try to copy other students' code and turn it in as their own, and they get caught. It's an unfortunate thing because there are strict consequences for that I follow. I don't hesitate to turn in and report academic dishonesty, and it is something that, again, you as an adult, you as a person have to choose. It's better for you to talk with me if you get behind in class, if something goes wrong and you can't finish something, it's better for you to turn whatever you have in, or to talk with me about the situation and see if there's a reasonable solution, or maybe there isn't. It's way better for you to do that and to get a lesser grade than it is to try to copy someone's code, claim it to be your own, to get busted, then get turned into the academic deans, to have to write letters of apology, to have to do a whole lot of stuff that goes on your student record forever. And so I can only stress this enough. Even if you've procrastinated, and honesty and a true confession of just the truth is way better than trying to pretend or be dishonest. So that's all I can tell you. I totally think that it's better to be honest, even when we are, we've made bad choices, and that happens, but just own up to it and be truthful. If you want to learn more about the computer sciences or information technology, just to see what else is out there, I've got a link to the website here. You can see what other things we offer. We're not just about web design, we're not just about digital media. We have a whole lot of other things that you could be interested in, and explore those things and see what's out there. We have links to the labs. We have links to alumni that you can see what people are doing and where they've gone from Parkland, what their path has been. And those are lots of things that you can go there and check out. It's really a nice way to kind of become familiar with what other options you might have being here. Another thing that we have that Parkland has is a Psychology 109. It's called Educational Career and Life Planning. And what this is about helping you. Maybe you're a first-time student, maybe you're returning to college after a long break, maybe whatever. It's going to help you kind of learn life goals, setting goals, understanding efficiency, study efficient, time management, how to use a library more efficiently. And those things are very, very important when you are new to college, or before you're going off to a four-year institution. It would be good for you to make sure you go there with the best foot forward. Using the student email here, make sure again you're using the student Parkland email through Cobra. That will get to my inbox and not get filtered out. I already covered this. Looks like I got this on there twice. Disability services. If you believe you have a disability and you need assistance, sure, there's a great place for you here on campus, and it has recently moved to the U building. That office has now moved to the new Student Services building in U260. They just recently did that, and so if you're not familiar with it, Parkland has a new Student Services building. It's a giant, beautiful addition to the campus, and that's where that facility would be. But if you're online, you may want to just give them a call at the phone number here, or email Kathy Robinson. Super nice person, and will be happy to help you out. Parkland also offers what's called the Center for Academic Success, and that is a place where you can go and get tutoring help, and help for your academic success. It's located also in the D building where our digital media labs are, and you can go there and get help with different types of classes, not just digital media classes, but all kinds of different services for you. So check out that program and that department. There is a program called the TRIO, and that assists students on their transfer to four-year universities. And there are things that the TRIO program provides that you may be very interested in. So I would go to this website here and see what they offer, and see if something like that would be a benefit to you. Parkland also has a mass notification system. This is something that allows you to receive information about hazardous weather, or dangerous conditions, things that might be going on the campus, fire alarms, and whatever else might be happening, sprinkler systems, problems, dangerous people on campus. They'll send you information to your mobile device, to your computer, to your phone, or whatever it is that you're using, and you ask them to. And some of you got to sign up for it, but it's a beneficial kind of thing. Parkland also offers help to our students. We have a department that is called the Student Technical Assistance and Resources, or STAR, and that is located in our Parkland library. And there's a facility inside the library, and you can go there to get help with your computer if you're on campus and you can't get connected to the Wi-Fi, or you can't get registration properly. They'll help you out with these technical issues. I also have a link to our digital media computer lab, and this will give you the schedule for our digital media labs, and also the lab that you have access to, which is D208, and you can go into that lab and work on projects. And this will tell you the times that those labs are available and the hours campus is open. And so those are things that you really need to know if you want to be there. Remember that the labs are a special place. They're sacred. They want them to be clean. We want them to be places where you can go and get work done. It's not a chat room where people are in there listening to music and it's not a party room. It's not a lounge. It's a place of work, and it's a place where you get in, you do what you've got to do, and then you leave it for the next person. So we don't eat in there. We don't, if you're sick, you don't want to go in there coughing and, I mean, making it a nasty environment. So they're open to you, but it's certainly something that I want you to be respectful of and mindful of. All right, now I want to go ahead and move to the schedule. Looking at the schedule, so you get an overview of kind of what's happening. You go to the link for this schedule, and if you go to the website, always hit your F5 key, and that will refresh. This little button here will also refresh, but F5, I'm not sure what it is on the Mac, but you want to refresh that page, because if I make any changes to this page, and your computer is just using a cached version of it, then you're going to have old information. So always hit that F5. That'll update anything that I might have done recently. And so if we look at this schedule, notice that I have everything laid out in this column by the date. This is the date that the assignment is being assigned, and then you can see when it's going to be due. I have a column that discusses the assignments. These are the links to web pages that have the content that you'll be needing to read through and work through. This class has a lot. It's online. It has a lot of written content, and it is something that it's done that way on purpose so that you can keep organized and have a very recipe-like approach in the beginning. Where you can see, okay, that's what this does, and that's what this does, and these are the things I've got to do. But you've got to internalize those things so you can get comfortable with them, get a workflow going. But it's made so that you have a place to go back to and refresh. Oh, what was that thing I needed to do with images? How do I do that? Well, I'll go back to the images link, and I can go down and see very clearly what I did, what the step and what the procedure was for it. I also have videos on the side that are also supplemental to the notes. The notes are very detailed and very in-depth, very thorough, and these teaching videos support that and add additional information to it. It is things that I try to provide resources for you that making web pages easier or better, or give you new tools to work with. So I demonstrate things like GIMP, which is a photo imaging software package that's free. If you can't afford Photoshop, or you don't have it, or you've never used it before, GIMP is available. I demonstrate Google+, I demonstrate adding a shiv for your HTML5 pages, I demonstrate Google Fonts and validation, color checking, all kinds of stuff that in the video, in the notes, it's written there, but I kind of demonstrated to kind of help explain the principles. And so what you can see is the day of the class. Like today, you're to read the class introduction and the syllabus. I'm going to have a link here once I finish this that will be on the side, and then I have a link to the Cobra maintenance, or the Cobra, how to use Cobra over here, so you'll watch that as well. The first week is kind of just getting you oriented, making sure that you know what you're doing, and then you're going to start project 1. Obviously you can begin project 1 before that and begin working on it. It takes time. You will be writing code, you will be reading a lot, you will be taking a lot of time on these projects. And project 1 is assigned on this date, and it is due, and the quiz is due by 11:59 on this date. And this is assigned on this date, and it is due at 11:59 on that date, and on and on and on. So when one thing ends, another one begins, and when that ends, another one begins. And so it just kind of keeps rolling along like climbing a ladder, one after the other, until the end of the semester. All right, I don't have midterm during the exact midterm. I scoot that down a little bit. I call it a midterm, but it's really, we go through all this content before I then start actually having you build and think about designing your own web page and web design. And so it's called a midterm, but it isn't technically at midterm. It's a little bit off. It's on the 11th week versus the 8th. And I do that so that we're not kind of getting premature with some of the things that I'm asking you to do. And so there shouldn't be any surprises in this class. I'm not trying to fool or trick anyone. If there's a problem with a quiz, if there's something that is unclear, simply email me and talk to me about it, and I'll be, maybe it's a problem that everyone is having, maybe it's a problem just you're having, or maybe whatever it is. So communication is absolutely important to me, and it will be the best way to resolve issues, okay? And so look things over here, look at the schedule, get in your mind exactly what you've got to do. Make sure you don't procrastinate, because it's very easy to do and very easy to forget about a class that you don't physically have to go to. But this stuff takes time. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of reading and there's a lot of doing. And I think it's fascinating. I think it's incredibly fun. I love to watch the growth of the students in the class, and I love feedback from students getting excited about doing something. You've made something, and it didn't take a day or a week or a month. You could do this in a relatively short amount of time and see it right before your eyes. Anyway, I think it's fun. I think it's a great class, and I hope you enjoy it. So look over the notes, get comfortable, watch the videos, read the syllabus, take the quiz, and those things are all available on Cobra. And there's a video about that right here that you'll want to watch. All right? I look forward to working with you, and I hope you enjoy the class.